Pam.
Hi.
We're here with Ricochet Media and the Indigenous Reporting Fund, and I just wanted to ask you a few questions tonight for the
Sure.
Indigenous Reporting Fund. If you could introduce yourself and where you're from and what you were doing tonight.
Sure. My name's Pam Palmater, and I'm from Eel River Bar First Nation, which is part of the Mi'kmaq Nation in the Maritimes. And I was here tonight giving a talk about Canada's crisis and how we need First Nations and Canadians to join together to deal with it. For decades, Indigenous peoples have been surveilled and monitored by CSIS, D&D, the RCMP, provincial police forces. I mean, that's just something that we've grown up knowing. It's illegal, of course. They can't do that. They can't target us all as terrorists. And so when I say welcome to our world, Bill C-51 makes this that can happen to any Canadian, and in fact will happen to lots of Canadians who are environmentalists, belong to unions, who are bird watchers, anybody who cares about anything and has any kind of dissent with Harper. It could now be captured under this bill. And when I say welcome to our world, I'm being facetious because I don't want Canadians to suffer what we have, but I'm saying what happens to First Nations will eventually happen to Canadians if we don't stop this government right now. So some Indigenous peoples will be voting because they really don't want Harper, and some won't be because they're very much focused on their own nationhood and sovereignty. And I think either camp are both working towards the same thing. We both want change for our people. We both want things to get better. We just see doing it in different ways. And I just think the debate itself is a bit of a distraction from what we really need to do. I mean, we have a crisis of murder to missing Indigenous women. Who cares if some people, Indigenous people, vote and some Indigenous people don't vote? We really have to work on a whole plan of action, and voting is just one of those. It's no longer just about a couple of tree huggers. We're talking about massive worldwide climate change that could be catastrophic, and we don't want that for any of us. And then the only way that any of this stuff can happen is if we take away the rights, freedoms, and liberties and the very essence of democracy in Canada from Canadians, because they know, post Idle No More, that our greatest allies are Canadians. So if you put these three things together, it's a recipe for disaster. So I just want people to understand how it impacts all of us. We're not just talking about an Aboriginal right fight in court that people feel very distant from. We're talking about things that if the fish run out, that's fish for all of us.